What is good, Kanye, Twitty, back in the house. Back in the house. And I know I've been gone a while, but hey, we'll break the fourth wall for like 30 seconds. We're just gonna get out of the way. Hey, lots of stuff happened. Lots of stuff happened, and me and Casual talked about it, but the gist of it is this. Miss Kanye Twitty woke up one day and some crazy stuff happened. Imagine losing 80% of your eyesight in one day and you have no idea how it happened. It's like an episode of House, 1 in a million case. And you know what? It changed our whole life, And so I've been doing a lot more work. I've changed my whole sleeping schedule. And to be honest, I didn't get to watch a lot of the wrestling. And I told you guys that we will not do shows if we're not actually watching the product. Because I'm not reading Bleacher Report. I'm not reading any of that and doing a show. So I had to take a break. But bottom line is this. Last show we did was with Mr. Casual Wrestling Fan. I got to give props. And I want to say thank you. Because also the Talk with Casual Wrestling Fan off air really, yes, let's give, let's do it one time. Casual Wrestling Crew. Miss Casual Wrestling Fan.
Can we give it 2 claps and a Ric Flair?
2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! A big shout out. I'm so glad I haven't gotten to talk about this, but he announced, it happened on our last show, that Mr. and Miss Casual Wrestling Fan are going to have their own show. He got paid a lot of money, that MJF money. We all know that. But their own show is going to happen, and I'm going to be the first person to say that I can't wait. I can't wait because here on the WWE podcast, we have review shows, we have nostalgia shows, we have weekend reviews, but these other shows that we have, those are the ones I really love. And hey, I may be beefing with Casual, but I'm going to be the first person waiting to hear the show. But also on that tip, I have about 15 more seconds left. I know it's a long 30 seconds. It's like NBA basketball. A minute is an hour. Anyways, follow us on the Twitter. Follow us on the TikTok. It's at WTFW Trash. And we back. Kanye Twitty, I feel good. And I got some friends with me. I got Justin with me. We're still coming up with a name for him. I think Casual needs to name him like he's named everybody else, but right now I got Justin with me, and I got Miss Kanye Twitty, and you know what? She gets to name herself too. You know what I'm saying? But this show, we're gonna start a new era of the WTFW podcast. You have your review show, you have your weekend review, you have your debates and your nostalgia. So you know what? We gotta stick to the basics: fire, trash, and Lunchable. And on this episode specifically, we're going to talk about the returns. The returns since Triple H took over, we're going to put them in a category because me and Casual talked about this. You can't give Triple H a pass anymore because he's Triple H. He's the boss. He's the one in charge. What we see on TV, he's the one to answer for.
Okay, so I'm going to throw something out there that I didn't talk to you about this prior to us doing. So wrestling is probably just like a strategy game that you would play on a computer or an Xbox or anything. This is all strategy. This is all boils down to how do you make the most of this? And a lot of these returns come down to how do you make the best return? How do you make that return work? And I'm going to bring that up with all the lists that we have. Did they work? Who was bigger?
All right. So here's this.
Who failed?
All right. So here's the thing then. You take one category. What is the most important aspect, influence, part of it for a return? For you, what is it?
The long-term events of this.
All right, Miss Kanye Twitty. For someone to return, what is the number one thing about their return that is going to mean the most to you, that makes it important?
I'm going to go with the same thing what Justin said.
All right. For me, I'm going to say this. I agree with you. But I'm also going to say this. How do you take advantage of their time away?
Well, that becomes the ultimate question.
Do you acknowledge before?
How does your return go? And there's people that we're going to discuss that the return was lackluster. There's people that we will discuss that the return was a surprise.
Are we going to put our fanboy away? Are we going to try and put our fanboy away?
I think both needs to be discussed.
Right.
Okay.
I think so.
Because this, again, becomes the strategy game. Because the strategy is the main important thing. And we talked about a few people that we won't even talk about on this list of how the strategy has worked for them on what they've done. But did your return work?
Now that we're looking at it.
Did the strategy that they had planned work?
Yeah.
Or was it just one of those moments where they came back and you popped like a fanboy and then it just became,
Because that's the whole point of this. This is a return of the trash. And what we're going to talk about is we're going to go ahead and, like me and Casual talked about, we're going to take our Triple H fanboy and put it aside and look at it objectively. You made business decisions to bring people back. People that were, most of these people were fired under the Vince McMahon regime. However, now that we've had time and we're at the end of the year, Triple H has had enough time now. We can start criticizing. I feel like we can criticize now. And he's had time.
We did talk about in one podcast that it had to be, you had to wait until the point of WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's time.
Hey, can we get 2 claps
in a be there.
Oh, me and Miss Kanye and Twitty are gonna be at WrestleMania. Can we get 2 claps and a woo? Woo! All right. Well then, you know what? With that, you know what? We're gonna do this, and here's how we're gonna do this. For you guys listening, here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna name the wrestler that came back, superstar. I don't care what you want. I'm gonna stick with this. Professional wrestler, because WWE broke that wall finally. They used that term, and I was so happy they did it, and that was fire to me. Professional wrestler, because that's who these people are. So we're going to name a professional wrestler that came back under the Triple H regime, and we're going to say fire, trash, or lunchable. And if we don't agree, we'll discuss it. So Jay, you go with the first one. Who we got?
Io Sky and Dakota.
We're talking Damage Control. We're talking formerly Io Shirai. And we're talking still formerly Dakota. No, it's Dakota Sky, but it was Dakota Kai. So here, I'm going to say I'll go first. Dakota Kai, Dakota Sky, Io Shirai. I don't care what you call them. Period. I'm all in. I'm letting my fanboys stay. Fire.
Because they're with Bailey.
Fire.
Okay.
Absolute fire. So, Dakota Kai and Io Shirai was 2 NXT products I wanted to see.
Now,
who do you say? Fire?
So I have questions. Because we're actually having a discussion, correct?
But you got to say what you want first. Do we disagree?
So what I have to say is, would you say, because you said fire. Would you say that's kind of reminding you of a female version of old tag teams that pulled it together and brought a whole new genre into their side? Would you think that maybe they could be the next Young Bucks, the next Edge and Christian,
the next Elite?
The next Elite?
3. I'm saying all 3. I'll include Bailey. She didn't return. She returned from injury, but I'm saying all 3. I'm saying that is the Elite.
I say they're fire. I think they have it that it's what they're looking for. It's what they need.
I'm in.
They need someone that's actually going to put the work in and not just this halfway sense of, okay, we can put, a tag match together. I want to be entertained.
And you're talking 3 of the most amazing women in the game.
And I think they're going to be something that can start bringing that in more and more.
Yeah.
Over this next year, we're going to see a lot of things. And that is, partial of that is a conversation for another podcast.
Yes.
But
right now,
the New Year's
Damage
coming,
Control, you're saying fire. Fire. Miss Kanye?
Lunchable.
Oh!
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Ooh. So many non-PG words wanted to come out of my mouth right then.
Yeah.
Yeah? Lunchable?
Let's hear it.
Go ahead. Go ahead. And to be fair, I'll give some I'll give some background. Miss Kanye Twitty did not know Bailey before she got injured. She had no idea who Io Shirai was, and had no idea who Dakota Kai was.
We're not talking about Bailey.
But I'm saying
we were talking about these
she
two.
didn't know them two either.
I didn't know any of them.
She didn't know none. Her first experience with Damage Control and Io
was
Sky and
Summerfest
Dakota
when they came
Kai
back.
was when they came back. So that's a fair assessment. So why is it a lunchable?
I just don't like how they perform. I mean, I don't.
All right, so what is it?
I think, okay, pull my fangirl out of this. All right.
Are they bad in the
say
ring?
that they're not bad performers.
Are they bad in the
They're good
ring?
wrestlers. No, they can hold it. Grant you, Io is more. I would say Io is fire. Dakota lunchable.
I can't argue. I see it. No, if I was to rank Io and Dakota, Io does have a step. She does.
She's up there with
The
me
only
on the
thing
whole
I could
Asuka.
argue with that is the two of them together are showing something that needs to be done.
Yes. That's where I'm at.
Because we can't continue doing the way we have been. And this has been something, and I'm sure you will both agree, we take top-tier wrestlers and put them in tag team groups.
Well, that's what WWE does.
Mm-hmm.
They throw anybody together.
But
Facts.
here we have
Sometimes
up-and-comers.
it works,
We have
sometimes it
people
doesn't.
that aren't really well known, but they're showing what they have.
Yes.
And it's showing a new light. And that's really where we have to start going, because it is the end of the McMahon era. Triple H is there.
And the Four Horsewomen, they're older now.
They
are
are.
the next generation. And I believe
And I think that's
that Dakota Kai
one of the
and
biggest
Io Sky are the new generation.
one of the biggest things Vince McMahon always did was bury a new generation because he didn't like what they did. And I feel now, especially with Triple H, we're getting a chance to see a new generation.
Yeah.
A new group of people, because we cannot continue to recycle the old thing that we have done, because that's what has always led to the downfall.
So we'll say they're fire. You and me agree they're fire.
I think they're fire.
But I see where you're coming from. So we'll call it stalemate. I see why you see a
I'm calling
lunchable.
a split decision.
I see why you call it lunchable.
I'll call it split.
I only
Don't-
call Dakota lunchable.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
All
All right. So next one, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to jump one. Because I want to know. Johnny Gargano.
Oh, so we're going to one of the later ones?
I want to go to one.
All
Johnny
right.
Gargano. I'm going to say this, and it hurts me to say it. It hurts me to say it.
I'm saying lunchable.
Lunchable.
He came out strong. I'm not gonna get him wrong. I thought he was fire at
I-
first.
There's
he-
so much
But
potential.
so
What
much
he
is going
did in
on right now
NXT
that
was great.
I didn't
Undeniable.
know him before.
What
Yeah.
he did with
Ciampa.
Ciampa, those were great matches. And yeah, Ciampa had a lot of injuries, and then they tried to recapture that later on, and now they brought him back, and
It hasn't hit.
I personally
It hasn't hit.
do not care.
Yeah, it's lunchable.
He shows up there, and
Even worse, he's paired with The Miz.
then I know,
Well,
which is
he's
really
paired
bad.
with Dexter, and they're going against the Miz, and that whole promo
Dexter's
was
fine.
trash.
But
that
Miz,
was the first Miz.
Honestly, like
promo
I see
I've
him
ever
pop
seen.
out, and I just go, "All right, this is a perfect time for me to walk outside."
I
have a
popped when he
cigarette
showed up,
and
and
throw
I
in a
haven't
hot
popped
pocket.
since. I
Yeah,
haven't popped
that's
since.
exactly how
I
I
popped
am.
when he showed up, and haven't popped since.
It's very
All right,
lackluster.
so we're all agreed. Lunchable.
Lunchable.
All right, Johnny Gargano. Can't believe I'm saying it. Lunchable break. All right. You go ahead and pick one. Who you got? Who you want us to discuss next, Miss Kanye? Ouch! It does hurt to put Gargano on Lunchable.
Yeah,
It does.
it just-
the fanboy hurts.
Okay, well,
But
if
hey,
we're gonna
all
talk
right, hold
about
on, hold
Johnny,
on. Before you say that, I want to say one simple thing. I would still give him a chance over the next 6 months
Oh,
to
yeah.
pull it together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
if
why
you-
it's a Lunchable right now.
If you can't do it in 6 months, if you can't go through WrestleMania season and figure
me
it out
care.
and pull it together, And at that point, like,
But that's fair. That's why I love the Lunchable. It's
we're-
like I'm not emotionally invested now. You're
at
not
that
trash.
point, like, you're going all the way through like WrestleMania
Yeah.
to getting into SummerSlam series. You can't figure it out. I'm sorry, man. You can go to the mid card.
All right, well then I know where you're going.
You know, I was gonna go there, but you know what? I'm gonna go Hit Row.
Lunchable.
Yeah.
Lunchable. And it
Lunchable.
hurts. It hurts.
They're kind of at that same spot where I'm in with Johnny. It's like they came out and I popped and I thought they were fire.
It seems.
Lately, it's been
so-
kind of, Lunchable with me.
Potential's there.
I'm going
Yes.
to say it seems like it's part of the same routine of groups we're seeing right now. And it just continues to, everyone's trying to copy a new gimmick that everyone works with. You know what I mean? Like, everyone is like, we found this new niche, and now we have probably, 4 or 5 different kind of, I'm not saying they're all the same. I'm saying, but it's kind of the same gimmick that they're all using. And it kind of makes me feel like drained on it. It's like when you had the cruiserweights come back, and it was all of a sudden everyone became a cruiserweight.
It was Miss Kanye was trying to ask me who they were feuding with. It's gosh, it's horrible because their gimmick is horrible.
But no,
I
look
love
at that.
them. No,
look
it's,
at that right there. You are forgetting what they're doing.
Not Thor.
You talking about the?
And they brought him. He got kicked off of because he lost the fight against.
Oh, you're talking about Veer Mahan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
he went to
they just brought up
NXT.
this girl.
No, you're talking about the fact that they brought Zelina Vega, and by the way, that's my biggest trash.
Oh, we're gonna get into that, aren't we?
Like,
No, they didn't.
yeah. Hit Row, Lunchable.
Lunchable.
Bottom line,
It seems like the same boring routine.
It is.
We found like this
I
setup
see
works.
the potential in him, though.
And again, we talked about strategy right away. This seems like, all right, we can do this.
all right. Well then, Jay, you pick the next one. Wow, Gargano and Hit Row, you're on the Lunchable list.
Well, I'm going to pick one of the big ones we want to talk about. Let's talk about the OC.
This is almost more painful to say.
Fire to me.
Lunchable.
Fire.
Really?
It was great to
Gallows
see.
is so horrible on the mic.
That's
Can't
fine.
take
They
the
have
promos
someone
out
else
of
to
it.
carry it. How long did we watch Brock Lesnar be terrible on the mic? How long has he been terrible on the mic?
How long
And
was
how is
Lashley
he
bad on
still-
the mic?
Yeah, they all are, but for some reason it worked. But
Well, then tell me
They
this.
got the
What's
two.
fire?
they are a great tag team.
They are.
They are part of one of the biggest stories that we've talked about when it comes with how the WWE will compete with having New Japan and them there,
I was gonna say,
and
they
bringing
bring
up
a
the
new
Bullet
style.
Club and having that there. It's a solid team that they don't have to be.
I want.
They don't have to be. They don't have to be in the like top 10 championship thing, but I'm still entertained when they come out.
So you're saying they're doing enough with AJ Styles?
Does Seth Rollins need to have a championship on him to make you watch him?
Oh.
I'm calling you out.
Oh, so you're basically asking me this. Do they need the tag team titles to be relevant to me?
I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, you put me over. Because I'll be honest with you. You were there when they returned. And I popped hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm in. No, you're right. Because I do care every time they're on TV. I will say this though, no, Gallows is trash on the mic.
But
He's so garbage.
we've watched so many tag teams over the years that, hey, you got to have one guy that's good on the mic.
Their
and you-
in-ring work is undeniable. And that's what you know,
then you
shout
have
out to
to have-
Nemean line, that's what he always says.
you
The
have-
number one
you have to have-
category is in-ring.
You got to have your mouth and you got to have your muscle.
But if you can't do it in ring, then you have nothing. And Gallows and Anderson
They do it in ring.
are on FTR level. one of the best tag teams. That's why they work every promotion.
And let's be honest. If there is at any sort of event, I don't care if it's AEW, WWE, New Japan,
Whatever it is.
if those two teams are
I'm
fighting,
watching.
you're watching.
Yeah. All right, so
And you know
just
it's going to be.
for me. I love watching OC and Judgment Day battle.
I do.
I do.
So we'll say OC Fire.
Yeah,
You got me over. I'm over. OC Fire.
yeah.
All right.
They're a great return.
All right, I'm going to go to a gimme. I'm going to go to a gimme. Why? Because I'm going to make it quick. Emma.
Lunchable.
Lunchable, don't care.
I'm saying trash.
I don't know
will
who
go
she
trash.
is, so
I'm going going trash.
I will go straight.
They
trash
didn't
with
even
it.
make me care to know who she was.
Now it
Trash.
when did she return?
Right?
That's how important it is.
That's how important it is. And that's why I'm saying, like, they didn't even make me care to do the research. Trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
Like, when did she come back?
She fought
When
Ronda
did she come
Rousey.
back?
She showed up on the open challenge and fought Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey.
Oh, that's who she was?
Yeah, that's who it was.
Oh, okay.
Trash.
Because I'm still new
Yeah.
into this WWE. Like I
honestly-
only
But
came
even-
into it as of like
but
the end
even
of
me,
March.
who she
Would you
was.
agree with this? Jobber.
Emma's a jobber.
Yeah.
Period.
That was literally to
A
take up time.
jobber. And I didn't understand why her coming back was supposed to be such a big deal. I didn't care. I had no
Against
idea who she
Ronda?
was. Yeah, I had no idea who she was.
I remember Emma, and I literally was
So
like,
can
oh,
we say trash?
yeah, trash.
Can we put someone on the trash? I'm putting
saying
Emma on the
trash.
trash.
I said lunchable, but like really, I don't know who she is.
That's why I think it puts you over on trash. But I don't know. That's just me.
Because she hasn't been well
I
known
wanna
enough
at
for
least
you to
see-
care.
True.
She hasn't made you want to care.
I've only seen her once.
Yeah.
So let me see some more.
All right.
Let me make a decision then. But for now, she's on my lunchable.
All right. Well, it's you. Pick the next one.
That's fair.
Pick
That's
the next
fair.
one. Return of the Trash episode.
Let's do the whole feud. Dexter.
Ah.
Dexter Lewis.
Dexter for me is fire. I like Dexter. I'm going to let my fanboy stay here. I like Dexter.
I'm going to say Lunchable for me because I don't care, and I feel like his gimmick has been used way too many times.
And I get that. That's why I'm just letting my fanboy stay here.
Seeing the mask guy come out, I feel like over this last year, we've seen that far too many times.
But he's such a creepy dude. I just like it. I like it.
I'm going fire with it just because, like, I like this feud between him and The Miz. He's giving Miz something that he needs.
Yeah, and
Okay,
the Miz
now-
is
Sorry,
fun.
but The
But
Miz to
answer
me
me
is
this.
just fucking lunchable.
Absolutely. Miz has been lunchable for a while.
But do you think he would have any sort of traction without working with the Miz right now?
I don't know yet.
I don't
I'm going to
know.
give him the...
So that becomes my question of Lunchable
So I would
right
agree.
now.
I would agree with Lunchable. I'm gonna give him he doesn't have go away heat for me. None. He has none.
Right now, there's no traction for me.
But he has no go away heat.
And I would
Still
also
fired
like to
me.
make a note that I wasn't the first one that did that.
Fair. Well, you get to pick the next
Leave it
one.
up to Miz Kanye, all right?
Who we got? I like this.
Come on. Don't take your time.
Go ahead, pick one.
We time ticking, yo.
I'm going right here.
Karrion, Cross, and Scarlett. Fire.
I think this
Hands
has
down.
the potential to continue because this is a subject we're also going to talk about later. Wrestlers that want to do stories. And
Yep.
you're absolutely right.
Fire.
And that is the most important thing about enjoying this is I'm here for a story. You are here to tell me a story. And Karrion Kross and his wife do a phenomenal job of getting me hooked.
Yeah.
Getting me wondering what's going to happen.
No matter who it is.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
And right there is the whole start of everything of what got me curious. You're never going to sell me right away of you pop in and something happens. You're not going to sell me right away of like you're going to be great.
I want to care to see you again.
This is our discussion about, okay, how did this go for you? How did the return go? And it at this point, like if you're at a Lunchable of trash, like it's not going that well.
Yeah, and
You
Karrien's
need
kept
to
it for
figure
me.
it out.
Karrien's kept it for me. I'm in.
I was disappointed when he had to leave, and I'm glad to see him back.
Yes.
Because he reminds me of someone that's actually going to. He reminds me of a very young Edge.
Yes, that's a good comparison.
Like you put Edge when it was. I'm having a memory blank right now. Female wrestler. She was. You're gonna hate me for forgetting this, but
Not Leah.
him and Lee together were really
I
great.
mean, I'm saying it's very good comparison because in the beginning, Edge started telling stories.
And that's really what got Edge to where he is today.
Yes. Props to Lita.
But he tells a story. That's what's needed.
He's fired me. Karen Cross and Scarlett fired for me.
We're getting her head shooken at, and there's a smirk and some really squinty eyes of hating both of our conversation right now. So let's hear it.
So, fanboy in me, he's a Lunchable.
Ouch.
Just because, he went up against my boy Drew.
Oh, the fanboy.
That's pure fanboy.
Plus, Scarlett always having to pipe in, and, I want to see Karrion do one.
That's why I love Karrion, because Scarlett is not a...
But I see where you guys are coming
It's
from.
not carrying him.
Is part of him.
Correct.
Scarlett is part... You are fighting both of them.
And that's why I say, fanboy.
But it's not a carrying thing. Karrion Cross, I'm saying she's not carrying him through it.
Yeah.
Karrion Cross has the talent to be a great individual wrestler.
But she's part of him.
But the story that is right now, it's a story, and it's a build-up. And a slow build is not a bad thing.
Where have they been?
I love storytelling.
Where have they been right now, though? I haven't seen them in a while.
They're now feuding with Rey Mysterio. And that's why I love it. He's like, no, I'm gonna
not a bad.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. All right. So we say fire, but her Lunchable is understandable.
Yeah, I can respect
Lunchable.
the Lunchable.
Yeah.
Pull the fanboy out of it. Yes, he brings a good story, and I will say it is a fire, but you know me. The whole Scarlet interrupt, it's just like Judgment Day. The whole Rhea thing, come on. I just want to see one match, fight by yourself.
That's what I do like about AEW. I will say this. I do like AEW does that a lot.
To me that you can do shit by yourself.
They'll bring their person out, and they'll send the other person to the back and fight the match by themselves.
Yes.
I do appreciate that.
But on the same note, eventually with WWE, they will build that singles matchup that you want to see into something a lot bigger and not just, all right, let's throw that out there.
Right. All right, well then I'll pick the next one. We'll go Tegan Knox.
Who's that?
I know, it's a Lunchable.
I don't care.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Can I pick the next one?
Right, you pick that one.
Sarah Logan.
Who's that?
Sarah Logan, I like seeing her back.
But that's it.
I don't know if she's got the traction right now, and I think they need to find something that works. I mean, I like the fact that she's back with
Viking Raiders. I mean,
yeah, I like that.
Her husband and everything.
But I think that's at this point I will say Lunchable, but I will also say, hey, this could build into something good, but you need to find the right way to do it, and not just her character, but how are you going to go about this? Because it's a very unique character.
Yeah, and right now I'm not invested.
See, this is the downfall for me because I'm only coming into this whole wrestling thing as of April.
Yeah.
So I don't.
That's where we get a unique opinion, though,
and that's why it's warranted.
And honestly, I can't even say that I've seen them. That's like I said with Emma.
But see, that also comes into you probably have seen them, but
you didn't know.
It didn't matter enough.
True.
It's Sarah Logan, Valhalla, she's not hitting it. All right, so
I want to pick the next one because we're running out of them. And I know who someone else really probably wants to talk about and have quite a bit of hate. So before we go into that, let's talk about Braun Strowman.
All right. Lunchable. I was fine when he left.
So please explain to the crowd exactly what we talked about with Braun Strowman. What was his interview and what did he say?
Bottom line is this: is Braun Strowman threw the flippers, they called, or whatever he called them, the flippers and the new age of wrestling under the bus. He said he'd never work in another company. He went and worked with another company. But bottom line is this: Braun Strowman, when he left, I understood. I really did. And the big man, he talked about in an interview, he's part of a dying breed. And that style of wrestler,
that is 100% true.
And they should never have put him and Omos together so quick, because it gave us nothing else to look forward to. Because after that, I'm sorry, you either have to give up to somebody else or you have to put someone else down. But no, Braun Strowman for me, complete. No, you know what? I won't even say lunchable. I'll about to say trash.
I'm going to say, of all the returns, one of the biggest letdowns.
Biggest. I didn't care.
No, like, okay, cool, we get to see him again. But he is a very big man. And
he's talented.
You can't, that era is, I'm not going to say it's done completely, but that
he's
man.
limited to who he can wrestle. And
exactly.
That's what sucks.
And had he been there 30 years ago,
that's fine.
It'd work perfectly. Mm-hmm. But now we have this whole new era of, there's guys like him, but how many wrestlers can you say right now he can have a full story with?
Right.
That isn't just him, I beat you up.
It's really hard. It's really hard, but that's what I'm saying. I'm putting him on the trash. Of all the people we talked about, he's the lowest on the totem pole to me.
I'm going to say you sold me like it's trash.
It's trash.
I'm not really going to, unless they pull a miracle out. And you got to pull.
I don't see him lasting another year.
You got to pull one heck of a miracle out completely.
Who's he going to keep fighting? Almost?
They already stopped that. Like,
right.
There's nobody else.
Yeah.
The closest thing you could do is him and Lesnar.
That's it.
Do you want to watch that again?
No.
I mean, you could probably do him and McIntyre, but again, do you want to watch that again?
Not really.
Do you want to watch him and Roman Reigns again?
Nope.
That's
why he's on the trash list for me.
Would you watch him and Lashley again?
And care? Nope. Zero. All right, then. Well, who's next then? And you know what?
There's
this guy, Miss Kanye. You can pick the next one. Want me to pick the next one? Well, I'm gonna get her out of the way. We talked about her boy, Candice LeRae. And Candice LeRae, we know, you and me know, Justin, that she is one of the best female wrestlers in the world, as recognized by the female wrestlers. I hate to say it.
She's coming to trash.
It's been complete lunchable since the day she showed up. Nothing.
You had the excitement of when she came back. But again, some of the other people we talked about, it just becomes, all right, you got me interested. What are you doing now?
My fanboy was excited she came back. But that was it.
But what have you done now?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
There's no, like, interest. There's no catch.
Nothing. Candice LeRae has done absolutely nothing for me.
We're really going to get into it with one of the last two that we do of, a talk about story. And there's no story behind it. It's, okay, what really are you doing? Like, what are you connecting me to?
And that's what I think Triple H's downfall has been. I'm not saying that the people he's brought back weren't good, but give me a story of why I should care that they're back.
I think he's starting to root it out. You know what I mean? He's rooting out. He probably has lots of people. He has Vince's old guard there who are telling him a certain thing, but he has to root out things to a point of understanding. Okay, for him to understand, old things are not going to work. and you know that it's kind of like watching Moneyball. We've all watched that.
Yep.
And how he sat there and we watched Brad Pitt go, no, you tell me why this works. And it was the old mentality. And this is his point of pulling that. Okay, I gave this a try. It's not working.
So Candice LeRae, Lunchable?
Launchable.
Yeah.
Completely.
Borderline trash.
I'd like to see Triple H do something with her, though. I do.
No, the potential's there.
But a lot of this, with a lot of these people, we all agree, we will still see them through WrestleMania.
Yes.
But we talked about this tonight earlier. We all know the day that comes, the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yep.
Everything gets cut. So if
it didn't work by then,
you guys all have what we're looking at 4 months.
It'll be like Black Monday.
But yeah, about
3, 4.
3.5, 4 months.
Yep.
And you have to figure this out.
Get it together. Yeah. Please get it together.
And now we are on the shining light of what the WWE is. We talked about Survivor Series kind of like this. This was the last push, and then we're going into WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania. What's coming up?
Well,
one of the most important things there. You got to start getting your stuff together.
Well, the last two, they have big implications.
So do you want to do them together, or you want to do?
No, let's do one at a time. You know what? You
flip a coin.
I know you want to talk about it, so go ahead and give your opinion, Miss Kanye Twitty. Like, this is your time. Go ahead.
Oh, with my Mr. Cody Rhodes.
Oh.
Complete fire.
Fire.
Come on.
I can't even argue.
So I'm waiting for his return so he can demolish Seth and move on to bigger and better things and grab that title from Roman.
And his return to begin with.
So, yeah.
It's Slade.
So we need to have a full conversation about how important his return was.
His return, in my opinion, is the most important.
It was time for him to come back home.
He came home. He came from AEW. He went and did other things.
He struck out on his own.
He stuck to his character.
Got to his own base. He went from being, I guess the best way to put it is, enforced by Vince McMahon. We all know how he left. We know how odd that gimmick was.
Yes.
Yes, it was with his brother. And yes, getting Stephen Amell to come in and do that. Okay, that was only the comic book nerd in me being happy about that, but they ruined him. They literally put him down.
And he put his head down.
And then he got up, and everything he did in Ring of Honor, and then coming to AEW, and he shined. He showed that he was way better than what he was being used. And then he came back to WWE, and that match, the last one he did, that injury, to be able to go that long like that.
Fire.
At that, you just have to hand it to him.
Hand it to him.
He was a professional.
Yep.
He could have walked away and said it couldn't be done. But what did he do? He went all the way. And you have to hand that to him. You never see that anymore. People don't have that in them.
No, Cody Rhodes, fire. His return's fire.
When he's done with this injury, I think he's got a really good fucking...
Oh, he's coming after those titles.
Now I just did it. Now, he's got a really good shot of doing what he should have been able to do a while ago.
Yeah, no, fire.
Yeah, fire.
Absolutely fire. Like, it's undeniable.
I'm going to say right now, I can't wait to be sitting there at WrestleMania and watching Cody take that title. Take one of the titles.
Oh, that's a conversation for another day.
So that is a prediction on record now.
No, it's a well-known prediction.
Yeah, but here's the real question. What title?
Raw.
Does he take the Raw or does he take the SmackDown?
I think he takes the...
I think he takes the...
I think he takes... No, actually, I think he takes the...
SmackDown.
No, I think he takes the WWE Championship. And not the Universal. That's what he wanted.
Yeah.
That's what he's wanted. I think he takes the WWE Championship.
And that would make all the sense in the world because of the promo of him talking about his dad.
Yep.
And the one thing his dad wanted, and that one night he almost got it.
Well, let's talk about the only person that rivals him for Return of the Year. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt.
We sat there for months expecting him to come back. We knew when Cody was.
Yes.
We knew when Cody was flat out. Bray, they kept keeping away. And when he finally did show, we even did an entire show about that because it blew us away that much.
Fire. I mean, first and foremost, fire.
But how they've done it, like you said, and I have to agree, it's being slow. And it's doing the one important thing. What is that doing?
Giving us a story without a title.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love it.
And it's bringing him back to exactly why we always loved Bray Wyatt. Do I miss seeing The Fiend?
I do.
Yeah, I do.
But I don't care.
Can he always bring that back?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's just kind of like with Finn Balor. At any point in time, he can bring the demon back. It's there, but it's almost like a weapon he doesn't have to use. He doesn't have to because it's Bray Wyatt.
That's what I'm saying. Bray Wyatt, in so many ways, it's hard for me to pick a bigger return. Cody has his reasons. Bray has his. But they are two different reasons. So it's almost impossible for me to pick one over the other. The fanboy in me wants to say Bray.
We know at some point those two have to go at it. And I guess one of the best ways for me to put this is thinking about old school history and going, what these two remind me of is when it comes down to thinking of The Rock and Austin together. And I think it'll be that caliber of a match.
Yeah.
Of two giants, two third generation wrestlers who they know the business. They know everything inside and out. And you know they're going to give you a top tier show.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I do not take anything away from Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I am absolutely in love with what they did there. That was some great matches. I think Cody and Bray are going to be something with, I'd almost say, when all said and done, not this year, next year's WrestleMania, we could be looking at that being our main event.
Yeah, absolutely.
100% tear the house down. Like, they're going to give it all because both of them do that one simple thing. We've seen it from Bray. We've seen it from Cody. They're going to level the house and show you a 5-star match.
And that's why I'm not going to pick one over the other. I can't.
I can't tell you which one's going to win.
But I can't pick one over the other for Return of the Year. I really can't.
I think they both
That's a
nailed
stalemate.
it. And I think one of the best things about it is it was so far apart that nothing takes away from the other.
Nope. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And that's something I didn't think about. If they actually were far enough apart, they didn't affect each other.
Nope.
But those are the two
and
reasons.
That's telling a story.
Those two people are two of the biggest reasons why I'm watching every week right now. I don't want to miss when Cody comes back.
But you know it's coming.
Yeah, I know it's coming. I don't want to miss one Easter egg from Bray Wyatt.
Nope.
I even Snapchatted the QR codes. So, you know what? Like, can we just say Bray and Cody?
I'm saying it's a tie.
They're returns of the year.
I gotta say it's a tie.
I can't pick one over the other. I won't.
I was ecstatic to see Cody. I was ecstatic to finally see Bray.
Yeah.
So you want to discuss one return? Different company?
Which one?
You want to talk about if they return next year?
We'll take one. Before we wrap up, we'll take one.
Does he go back to the WWE?
I think he does. I think he does.
Do you want to say the name?
No. Not at all.
You don't think a cult of personality will show up?
No, I don't want to even talk about it.
You said we'd take one.
Well, I know. And I did. Gave my opinion. But I'm not saying his name. Why? Because right now, he ain't, in my mind, he ain't with nobody. And I'm mad. But we'll save that conversation for another day.
That's fair.
All right. That's fair. I think this was a good episode.
Okay, so then I have one other question. Predictions for the Royal Rumble. Right now, we are over a month away. Who do you want to see pop in there? And I will say surprise guest. And who do you want to see return the most?
The man, I won't say his name. That's it. It's the only one.
All right, surprise guest.
Surprise guest, Bad Bunny. I want to see Bad Bunny.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead. You challenge me.
I would like to see someone else from the Bullet Club.
All right. I agree.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing the villain.
Fair.
And I think, I don't think the villain would be like someone that had a championship round, but I think it would kind of be a good piece to add to the Bullet Club story.
And that's what the Royal Rumble's for. Ultimately, that's what the Royal Rumble's for. And that's what our podcast is for. We do something different. This is Return to the Trash. We just gave you all your returns, and we told you what we think. If you have a problem with it, you can get at the WWE podcast for the mailbag episode on Wednesdays and go ahead and give us your opinions. But that felt good.
Yeah,
That felt good.
I'm pretty happy about it.
And you'll see us next week. We're going to talk about, we have a whole nother slew of topics to talk about next week. But, I think that was good. I think we got them all.
Okay, so I have one last question for you. Personal opinion of the history that you know and everything else. What was your favorite return of all time?
My favorite return of all time, hands down, was me being at the Royal Rumble and having Edge return. Period. I was there. I'm biased. Fanboy, all that. Like, I'm good on that. And secondly, it's the reason why I went was so that I could see Becky Lynch. And seeing Becky Lynch in Survivor Series, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, Edge. Edge is returned, hands down. I was there. It was amazing. And that's why, that's it. Bottom line.
Yep, that's fair. I have two, but they're two different categories. One is kind of like the Edge scenario, and seeing Daniel Bryan come back and being able to wrestle.
Yeah.
The second is, even though he was never released or anything, and we talked about this earlier tonight, who has always had one of the greatest returns of all time? Triple H and The Undertaker. Every time they come back, you're sold. You're there. It's not even curiosity. It's, they're back.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Yep. I'm in.
100%.
I'm with you. So, all right. You got anything else to add, Miss Kanye? You good? You got it?
Do you have a favorite return?
It hasn't had so many yet. She needs time. She needs time.
I can tell you right now, though, Bray Wyatt's on my Lunchable list.
And that's a conversation for another day. I ain't even gonna let that. Nope. We're not opening that can of worms. We're not opening it. We're gonna wait and see what happens. But this is the WTFW podcast at WTFW Trash on Twitter, on TikTok.
No, I gotta call you out. You gotta let her make your point on that.
No. Why? Because that just means that will be the subject for next week. We're gonna tackle Bray Wyatt.
All right.
Yeah. We're gonna tackle Bray Wyatt.
We got a week to give her opinions.
Yeah. But for now, this has been Return of the Trash. The Trash. It was a whole episode of Trash, Lunchables, and Fire. If you don't agree, get at the mailbag show, send an email in, send a voicemail in, and say what you want to say. But as of right now, it's Justin. It's Kanye Twitty. It's Miss Kanye Twitty. Shout out to the Casual Wrestling crew. We're just going to say it. Yeah, we giving you props this episode. Shout out to all of y'all. And we'll be back next week. We out. Boom.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show. Or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.